voasikajo firenena mpamboly Madagasikara ary azo lazaina fa fambolena sy fiompiana ary jony no mamelona ny toe-karena malagasy.
Madagascar is an agricultural country, and it can be said that the Malagasy economy is powered by agriculture, livestock farming, and fishing. As we know, these sectors account for 26.3% of Madagascar's gross domestic product, and this sector remains the main creator of jobs and provides the majority of the Malagasy people's basic food needs. This is exactly why Madagascar signed the agreement in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea in 2014, which fixed the amount allocated to agriculture, livestock, and fisheries to 10% of the state budget, and economic growth in these sectors will be 6% per year.
Ary hoenina isanjato ny fitombony ari-karena avy amin'ireo siampamokarana ireo. Maro be ireo tombon-dahany ananan'i Madagasikara.
Madagascar has many resources in terms of agriculture, livestock farming, and fishing. These include having a large area of arable land and good soil conditions for farming. As we know, there are 35 million hectares of arable land in our country, but only 2 million have been exploited till now. In addition to this, we need to have a large number of young people and experts who are familiar with modern farming techniques. When it comes to livestock farming, one of Madagascar's strengths is that it has over 9 million beef cattle and more than 30,000 dairy cows. In terms of fishing, we can say that it is a great advantage for us to have over 5,600 kilometers of coastline and over 1 million square kilometers of maritime surface area, as well as a lake with a total surface area of 1,500 square kilometers, which can be used for good marine and freshwater promotion. The 340 square kilometers rice field property acquired is suitable for fish farming, which allows farmers to increase their income. But it's also an advantage to have the National Agricultural Fund, FDA, and the National Livestock Fund, FEL, and the small loans spread across the island that can finance projects proposed by farmers all over the island.
Izay azo anaovana fiompiana trondro ka ahafahana mampitombo ny vola miditra amin'ny tantsaha. Fa mbola tombony ihany koa ny fisian'ny tahirim-pirenena momba ny fambolena na ny FDA sy ny tahirim-pirenena momba ny fiompiana na ny FEL, ary ireo fampindramam-bola madinika miparitaka manerana ny nosy izay afaka mamatsy vola andreo tetikasa tolotry ny tantsaha.
Despite Madagascar's strengths, there are still a number of problems in the sector. Lack of production infrastructure such as dams, processing and drying machinery and warehouses. Added to this is the problem of land ownership, with only 8% of farming families using the land registered in their name. There is also the lack of money for production. Only around 20.7% of Malagasy families have access to these small loan services. In addition to the presence of rabies and livestock diseases, which kill 25% of calves, the destruction of animal habitat caused by fires remains a problem faced by livestock farmers, and the continued use of traditional techniques results in low production rates. Solving all these problems requires a serious and clear plan, including a national plan for agriculture, livestock and fisheries, updated in order to achieve the objectives set by the Malabo Agreement.
Dia mbola olana trehandreo mpiompy ihany koa ny fampitehan'ny tany firaofan'ny biby vokatry ny doron-tanety sy ny mbola fampiasana ny teknika nentim-paharazana ka mahatonga ny taham-pamokarana ho kely. Mitaky-drafitra mahatipaika sy mazava ny famahana an'ireo olan'ireo, ka nisan'izany
However, the fact that even the national plan for agriculture in our country will be out of date by the year 2020 seems enlightening. Also, the amount of money allocated to agriculture, livestock farming and fishing is decreasing every year, so that between 2020 and 2023, we know that only 5.1% of the state budget was allocated to agriculture, livestock farming and fishing, and that only 3.3% of general expenditure was actually spent on these sectors.
Fa dia mihena isa-taona ny vola natokana ho amin'ny fambolena sy ny fiompiana ary ny jona ka tato anelanelan'ny taona 20 sy 2024 dia fantatra fa 5.9 isan-jato ny teti-bola-panjakana ihany no mbola natokana ho amin'ny fambolena sy ny
In conclusion, it can be said that the agriculture, livestock and fisheries sector has been completely forgotten in Madagascar, but these are the sectors from which we have the most to gain.
fantatra ihany koa
It seems that the objectives agreed within the African community have also been forgotten, so it's not surprising that Madagascar is now the fifth poorest country in
ny
Africa.
fitombo ny arkarena avy amin'ireo sy ampiariana fototra ireo eto Madagasikara. Taremarika izay tena mifanalavitra tanteraka amin'ny tanjony Malabo. Feny ary azo lazaina fa tena adino tanteraka ny sehatry ny fambolena sy ny fiompiana ary ny jono eto Madagasikara. Kanefa
Why do
dia
we still have to
ireo no
import
anantsika
most of the basic
tombon-dany
foodstuffs that people need every day? But 94% of our country's arable land we haven't yet been able to exploit. It was for this reason that the Farmers' Union of Madagascar made a major announcement at the Prince Hotel on Thursday 29th June 2023, alerting the country's relevant officials to look into what will kickstart agriculture, livestock farming and the fisheries sector and implement what was agreed in Malabo.
Kanefa ny 470 isanjaton'ny tany azo volena eto amintsika aza sy mbola vitantsika ny mitrandraka azy. Zay indrindra mahatonga an'ireo tantsaha mivondrona ao amin'ny firaisan-kinan'ny tantsaha eto Madagasikara.
Part of the statement, we appeal to all of you mentioned above, representatives of the Malagasy peasants united within the CPM, to establish from now on an effective and clear strategy so that we can once again work together with achieving the Malabo objectives and the revival of agriculture, livestock farming and fishing in our country.
Izay ny fanarahana tany Malabo. Eto am-pamaranana dia tsy hainy tsy hisaotra manokana an'ireo mpamboly madinika izay mivondrona ao amin'ny Esaff any Afrika izay namatsy arabola ny fanatotosana an'izao horonan-tsary fanairan'izao ka nafahana napita ny etaetany tantsaha malagasy.
In conclusion, we can only thank the small farmers united within Esaff in Africa who financed the production of this warning video and made it possible to convey the wishes of Madagascan farmers to government officials at all levels and to those who still want to run the country in the future.